Hello, stream.
Hello, stream.
So, right, we are not currently at war with anyone. How close to death are we? Probably not very. Yeah, right. We have 121,000 troops, and I'm probably at full strength. Well, okay, my demean levies could, cheer up a bit. I'm still over 95% threatening, so I suspect that the first part of this game is this session is going to be waiting for my threat to come down so that I can, take over some more of the world. Although I am, of course, looking out for any revolts. Yes, in our last our last session, we accidentally created the Kyrgyz kingdom when attempting to take over or stop the Mongol Empire having some bits. So, my options are to sit and wait for things to get quieter, to thank you, you're very helpful. To attack the Egyptian revolt, which is, I think, about the only place in the world that I can attack. And my options are Holy War or Conquest. Holy War against actual Catholics, nope, and Conquest for one county, not worth it. Right.
Sadly, the stream didn't get our fantastic moms there.
You're very, very lucky that you didn't see this, I can assure you. Alright, thank you. Right. It's an internal war. Right. So I've got time on fast forward, hoping that eventually my threat is going to come down below 75%, and then I can take on the Pagan Defensive Pact. Not through this everyone leaving the Defensive Pact bug, which is obviously cheating if I use it. But yes, I have to hope that my vassals don't win too many wars in the interim, because they just keep driving my threat back up.
We have a threat synchronization issue.
Right, let's go on a grand hunt. One day I will find the sodding white bear, great bear, whatever. Promise.
That's a constellation, that's why you're getting it wrong.
It should be really fucking easy then. Honestly. Right. Ooh, Otter has come of age. And I'm at peace. Let's see if he... Yes, he will convert. Brilliant. Let's just check. Right, that's... Oh, that was my predecessor's son. Yes, I remember. Right. Who's my... oh, yeah, she's reasonable. Right, let's face the boar alone with my boar spear. What can possibly go right? Oh, that's the one. Who are you? Someone random in my prison. Don't really care. Well, King of Estonia's being busy. Right, oh dear, my horse has fallen over. Let's end his suffering nobly. Ect. Yeah, it's a standard event that happens in the Grand Hunt every so often. Hooray. Yes, every so often in the Grand Hunt you fall off your horse. The number of horses that one has in Iceland is definitely, rather greater in this world than in...
Well, you do have an entire empire to supply them. It's
true. There's constant ferry service across the sea from, Mongolia, which is probably a net exporter of horses.
Yes.
Well, bits of Mongolia that are mine, and not the Mongol Empire's or Kyrgyz's.
Yes, we feel that we properly traditionally Icelandic Empire ought to be riding glaciers or something.
Well, we have ships. Right. So I can shag my courtier because, as previously noted, Gaydar in this game is perfect. I was going to go, what's the worst that can happen? But I think I know the worst that can happen, which is your affair's discovered and then you're murdered by someone because, you know, the gay panic defence still totally exists in this universe.
You contract the Great Pox.
That's also yeah, but you can do that anyway. You know, that's not a queer specific problem. Judging by some previous emperors, anyway.
So I can't quite read things from this. Just was your message there? It's good to be the Phil Kitter.
Yes.
This was actually religiously inspired.
To
your commander,
well,
whatever he was.
I am trying desperately to remember literally anything about the Old Norse attitude towards homosexuality. It's very big on defined gender roles, or at least it is in the sagas, although that mostly just tells you that someone bothered to make a law about it at some point. But that, you know, possibly just tells you slightly more about the people writing these things rather than anything useful.
It is a sign that I'm tired. When I heard gender roles, I thought that was some kind of more PC way of saying something like a large pair of baps.
No, really not. But,
Can't hear a single phrase without muffing it.
It's true.
good. But of course, you know, the sagas are written at a point when Iceland has been Christianized, and we know what the Christians at least officially think about this. So, okay, apparently barracks have been built now. Well, that's nice. I didn't even know I had a county out here. What exactly are my holdings? So I've got the 3 in Iceland plus 3 others. Okay.
Oh, well, it's okay.
Yes. Pomeranian Revolt. Internal War. At the moment, those are all internal wars, which under other circumstances I'd be a bit irked by, but right now it's quite good. So, we do have an independence faction, but frankly they're just not trying hard enough. But you are there, you're as cheered as you're ever going to be. So, anyway, right, factions. You are leading the independence faction. That is your county. Let us switch our chancellor into cheering you up mode. Oh, let's add some more castle fortifications to Husavik. I mean, it's what we do. Ooh, it's time to go on a grand hunt again. Let's go on a grand hunt, everybody. Clap, clap, clap. I will find the white bear. I mean, statistically, I'm pretty sure I won't.
Are you sure there is?
There's a trophy for it, so I assume that's the white panda, I can tell. Right, let's kill the white hart. We'll try and kill the white hart. Our holding is under siege from someone completely different. No, it's Stettin. Stettin. There's my... Stettin. That's small back. Okay, right, so I'm waiting to build stage 4. That was a small bat, you know. Right, well the Grand Hunt is over. At least I didn't die or kill my horse, I guess. Right, let's study the book intensely that we've got. This will probably allow me to improve my learning. Why am I improving my learning? Okay, it just happened. It occurs to me that's not what I wanted. Where's the ledger? There's the ledger. What I wanted to look at is... So I do just have those 3 things, because I've still not managed to take over Row. Briefly thought I was going to get Stonehenge, but didn't manage to get Stonehenge in the end, which was very unfortunate. The Venetian conquest of Buchan has ended inconclusively. Good. Well, I mean, under the circumstances, good. But, you know, it's still a bit of a pain. 92.6% threatening.
Is that more or less than last time?
It's less. It is going in the right direction. It just doesn't go that quickly, you know, even though I've maxed out time.
You don't really want your threat level to be in a region where it sounds like an FM radio station.
Well... It just means that there's lots of things that you can't really do unless you're incredibly big and threatening, like so big you can take on the entire world. Or...
Yeah, it's middle that you don't want. If you're totally unfriendly, you're like, oh, would you like to think? And they're sure. If you're incredibly scary, oh, would you like to think? Okay, that's still better. But in between,
Oh,
not
that-
scary.
Okay. I was feeling some kind of killer Hertz pun to start coming out, or mega Hertz, but no, there was no fusion.
That reminded me...
There are things
Can...
that you
Right. Okay, so let's unpause and watch the progress of her war and see if when she's at peace I can offer her diplomatic vassalization. Because it did occur to me last night, eventually. It probably won't work, but I can't find out while she's at war.
I think you don't have enough of the factors.
I suspect I won't. Because she's a different culture. But she's the right religion. After the Christian defensive
She's a king,
pact.
isn't she?
Uh,
Or queen, rather.
Oh yes, so she's
So
too
it's fundamentally
too many
not
layers
enough
up. Right,
distance
okay, let's
in
not even
range.
bother.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
actually, there's an
And there's
explicit
no
ban on
egg.
king levels being vassalisable anyway.
Yes.
It's probably quite hard to do all this bending things on maps and so on. According to Kig, it's
Well, bending text down is hard because the tops and bottoms of letters can't both line up sensibly. But I think that one was quite straight, and so
Yeah.
there's no excuse for that going when it's not even going X.
Yeah, but most people don't
It is
care
also
that
one of
much
those-
about kerning.
It is also one of those fonts where the tail of the R sticks out a long extra way to the right. and that
That's
makes
true.
it hard to turn together with over.
Like nor air.
The gap between the actual bottom of the R and the start of the E though, is pretty small.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, I think the R is fine.
I mean, if you go any closer, the R will trip it up.
doing.
Stuck its leg out so
The
far.
font I know best of this problem is Bending, in which you should never set any book that contains words in all caps. If you don't do that, it's fine. Oh, also not a good idea to write Z in it, lowercase z in italic. Because it just, for some reason, doesn't do it the rest of the time.
The small green lump in the middle of there.
Yeah, that's Egypt.
That's not what I expect.
This is Crusader Stoke.
So is that Egypt?
Of course, everything
Are
has
they
its
also,
version.
so they're in what, Switzerland and also Kent and Yorkshire or something?
That's a bit far north for Switzerland. It's
Oh,
Germany.
It's far north for Egypt.
well.
Although, maybe this in Kent is also Egypt. It looks like a different shade of
I
green
think
to me.
that's Egypt. The Egyptian revolt. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
Egyptian
right,
revolt.
Egyptian
It
revolt,
is.
yes. I mean, Egypt is also in its usual place.
Yeah, well, probably mostly.
Yes, I think given that you are an emperor, essentially your requirements for vassalization, diplomatic vassalization are must be
Time again.
duke rank or below,
Yeah.
and one of same culture or part of your de jure empire.
Right. Right, let's try killing the White Hart. This goes so well. Right, though this is more...
But that does, I think, mean that any independent duke or count within your de jure empire
Yeah,
ought
but
to be vassalizable. There probably aren't very many of those because you will tend to absorb them by other means.
well, I now have all of de jure Scandinavia. My
yes,
my
the thing
promising
is that
son
your de
turned
jure
out not
empire
promising.
is the kingdoms you had when you created the empire, plus anything that's drifted in
Like
by
under
virtue of your
Lithia.
holding absolutely all of it for 100 years. So they're fairly unlikely to have random duchies kicking around.
Yes.
Though, strictly, of course, it's a question. It's the de jure liege of the title held by the person, whereas de jure drift is caused by the land.
Yes.
So, I think, though I don't know whether it also. Oh, I don't know.
It doesn't really matter because everywhere that's... Right.
Actually, you could check the de jure thing by just, I think. Can you just look at the de jure empire and see if there's anything in there that you don't already own, which I think will be indicated. You check anything under anything in that list of vassal titles. Does it contain anything you don't own? It doesn't look to me like it has a scroll bar and all of them are white. So I think that
Yeah.
indicates that all the extant vassal titles you already control.
Yes. I'm pretty sure I do now.
I suppose strictly one of them might have a vassal title you don't control. But
Right, well, we have Kingdom of Scotland now,
hooray!
eventually. It took quite a while. Probably hasn't done... Right, I've got the Scholar trait, which is quite nice. I can't remember what the Scholar trait gets me.
Did you get this?
Mostly same trait opinion, I think.
Would you just apply a score trait while in the middle of a great big hunt?
Well, you know,
You-
+3 learning.
I think
same
the hunt
trait.
takes place over several days, and you come home to read and such like.
Or you take your texts and camp in the in your luxury glamping thing.
+3 learning from Scholar as well.
Yeah, I did just say that.
+3 learning, +10 same trait opinion.
Yes. Which is kind of good for my technology spread and things like that. Oh dear. Okay.
Trace opinion is clearly some kind of feature device.
Currently out of commanders. Do I have... Right, you are a good person to be a commander. Do I have any spare little titles? I do. Let's hand out some titles to cheer people up. Most people are pretty cheered, which is nice. Right. Sword of Thor. Right, he quite likes me. He really likes me. Ah, he's in hiding. What? County of Urbino has been converted to the Germanic faith. Right, here we well. So you are not a completely hopeless potential. Yeah. Probably. Alright. Arrange marriage. Yes. Build some castle fortifications. That's nice. Good, good, good. What? Let's ransom her. Right. And I get plus 70 money. Woohoo. Well, we're below 90% threat. Unfortunately, we need to get below 75% threat so that I can go to war against my religious group. Even just waiting, my prestige is going through the roof. My wife Ileana tells me she's pregnant, but that can't be right, can it? Well, probably not. No.
Well, I mean, it's probably right. I mean, probably true.
True, but
Whether that qualifies as right,
Right.
is another matter.
yes. Right. Well, the problem is my ambition is to have a daughter, so I'm going to trust my wife's word. Also, my current children are a bit useless. The promising one didn't turn out as promising as he'd hoped. So, gosh, he really likes me. Right, let's go for hunting. Oh dear, I've been wounded. Whoops. Complete your random courtier. I don't mind marrying you off. How are we doing research wise? Oh, we can nearly afford some castle infrastructure. What's that done to my threat? It's taken me back up above 90%, which is not too bad. I think it was a conquest of one county, so we just conquested Ceredigion. After 100 years under the Kingdom of Armenia, the Republic of Thessalonica is no longer considered de jure part of the Kingdom of Greece. Armenia is not a de jure part of my empire yet. But right, let's invest in some castle infrastructure.
Ooh, the English revolt.
Yeah, but it's really small. Yeah,
Coastal, right?
it's coastal, but it'll whack my threat up for one county. And, that's not really worth it.
Okay.
That's small enough that,
You could just leave the Irish to take, or whoever you've got
or one
in
of
the
my
area to take it
vassals.
on.
I have a bunch of vassals who can,
If they're remotely sensible, they will have gone ooh in precisely the same way.
yes,
And you will shortly have 2 more wars on his hands.
that's the one.
Particularly.
No, you have 2 problems.
One.
Oh, confusing regular army.
Oh, I didn't even get to name my son. I think that was me, wasn't it? Me. Yeah, I didn't even get to name him. On the plus side, he's not inbred, which, is always a bit of
Probably
a
quite
risk.
comprehensively outbred.
Well, yes. It's a net improvement. Right, let's build a castle down in Husvik. There's a bunch of
Playing 2 gender roles at once.
wars. I think. Grief. What are they doing in Venice? They're just going for the high turnover at the moment. Still, he likes me. Right, you want to marry random courtier. That's completely fine. How are we doing threat-wise? 89.7%. We are slowly stoating our way in the right direction. Come on, get me threat. 89%. It's going to take a while. What's that?
Is there a target line?
75%. It's going to take a little while to get there. And of course, every time any of my vassals conquer somewhere new, it goes back up a bit.
Arch anywhere.
Lots of alliances happening, which is what we want. East Yiddish or revolt. For East Yets. Yeah. Oh, I can create a new kingdom. Wow. created the title Kingdom of Wales. Right, let's end my love affair and maybe become chaste. Right, there we are. I'm King of Wales. Right, 88.4% threatening. How are we doing faction-wise? Independence. Okay, we are cheering him up.
Really,
We've cheered.
not a serious problem. That side
It's
of
not a serious problem. I'm basically just using this as a way of picking where to put my Chancellor. What was that?
Is that an entertainingly shaped revolt spreading through like Macedonia?
So that's the Bulgarian revolt. So basically county claims or holy war against Orthodox. The problem is it'll activate the entire Christian Defensive Pact, which...
no, it won't, because he's not a member of the Christian Defensive Pact. That's the whole point.
Of course, yes.
It will only
Activate.
raise local Orthodox rulers. And whether there's a holy war that's worth going for is another matter.
Let's also check.
So already one of your vassals is going after Strimon.
Yeah. So it's probably not worth it.
Well, I don't know that makes a lot of difference. The question is more.
After 100 years under the Empire of Norway, the Kingdom of Kunungar is no longer considered a de jure part of the Empire of Rus. Okay.
The question essentially is there a holy war that's worth going for?
Well,
So,
I'm not convinced of that at this point. Right, well, let's pretend. So there's Moesia,
yeah.
which is a bit meh. Moldavia, which is
Even more
titchy. I think that is just
Might
two
be-
count.
that
So
would be only two- oh dear. Right, yes, okay.
no, 3 counties. Sorry, that is 3 counties. Ohrid, which is,
I mean, the thing
two
is, it is a
counties.
very stupidly shaped revolt, so
and
You
Strimon,
have to be
which is
lucky.
2 counties.
essentially only Montania might be.
That's the only one that might be worthwhile. And it's a bit of a pain to get my biggest armies to. Because, yeah, I'm surrounded by lots of equal fiddly bits. And my biggest armies are all miles away. The thing here is, the prize is when I get below 75%, I think I've got to claim war against Kyrgyz. Okay, I don't currently have a claim war against Kyrgyz because my claimant, I think, is a weak claim scum.
Trying to hunt down a new one then.
Yes, let's...
Or, like, assassinate the current monarch.
Yeah, but his successor is a bloke as well, so...
Oh, if he goes into hiding, that helps.
So he's got a weak claim.
You can assume you already have a weak claim.
I'm pretty sure I do. He's got a weak claim. She's got a weak claim. It's just... Well, let's invite him to court, because that can't do any harm.
I mean, you might, you can get people more.
In today's episode of Random Been caught in the laptop cable.
And let's plot to kill him anyway, on the grounds that, you know, I don't think that can be a big problem.
Although soon it will be able to close quite easily by itself, just not opening.
Or at least not stay open.
Its hinge is quite deaded.
Right, well, okay, so what do my electors think? Too old, incompetent fighter. Heathen, too old, incompetent fighter. Right, so Mr. Bond. Let's... somewhere. Let's go try and see if we can get him as our chosen what's name. It looks like a couple of bits.
Up there.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of people have popped out of their...
Is that actually popped out of Kyrgyz, or is that popped out of Mongol Empire?
It's a good question.
Because I think
Surely
Kyrgyz is kind of now broken into little pieces, but I think when you took it, it wasn't that big.
No, it was.
Kyrgyz.
Anyway, no, Kyrgyz is... no, it was quite large.
Okay.
Good night.
Now, there's a little bit
Good night, Steve.
good night, that might might have popped out of the Mongolian Empire.
But
And a couple of bits down here.
Is definitely a thing that was part of Kyrgyz before then.
But yeah, Atukan definitely, yeah.
Probably so.
Let's just check that we've got a claimant or two. Ah, none of their lot want to join us. No, damn it, he's landed. Oh well. What is that? That is magnetic gavelkite. So, can I persuade you? Right. To join my court? No.
Alright, they have gavel time in it, yes, that you tend to break things up.
Yes. Right, so we need to save up a bit before we build more stuff, because that's a bit expensive. till the next crusade.
You mean Crusade?
I do mean crusade.
I don't know. Ask the Pope.
Right, let's read the Tengri Faith. This can't possibly... Oh, not for 14 years. Right, let's not become Tengri. That's not going to, help with anything much. Right. Vigdis the Handsome. She's so good at diplomacy, she could at least have been Vigdis the Dove. If you're going to give her a generic nickname. How are we doing? 86.3%. Right, let's go on a grand hunt. It's time to go on a grand hunt again. I shall find the white boar. Ha ha ha. Lol. Right, let's try killing the white hart. This goes so well. Kill Gibril, the sword of the Allfather, as is at the title of Yaldum of Ratapadi from some small boy. Okay, I think that's that bit. 97.9% threatening. God damn it.
Well, unfortunately, the Eldom of Ratapadi has pushed your.
Has pushed my right. Okay. Someone's joined the defensive pact. Damn it.
Yeah, I think.
Right, let's go for the hunting. Oh dear, I've been wounded again. I could manage to learn not to
You really ought to be able to kill the thing with Kyrgyz pretty quickly. You got 156% block power.
It's true. Grand hunt is over.
Maybe you have to accept that your vassals are not going to allow you to get down as far as 75%.
It's possible.
Okay, it's not a very big kingdom, but
It's true.
it'd be decent nonetheless.
Unfortunately, the entire world will unite to squash me. I think I'm going to stop for the night on account of the fact that I need to think of what to do, given that, it's basically what I can do at the moment is wait around until either I'm big enough to take on the entire world, or I die. And or the thing is, particularly when I'm wounded, starting up a fight against a revolt war is quite risky. So I'm going to save and quit. The year is 1271.